Hello, people of the UK and beyond, because there's definitely beyond. We've got listeners in and viewers in America. We've got Poland and I think a bit of Portugal as well. Can't think of any other countries. So let's do a shout out to Poland. My friend Dave Dean who looks a bit like Father Christmas, so we pretend he's Father Christmas. So little Dave, he's been watching. So a big hi,
hello,
and a tinker hi there to little Dave. I hope you are well. Looking forward to returning to Poland and going out for a beer or two. So Enchanted Wood. We're up to chapter 11 now. And Tinker, just as we kind of came in, asked what happened in yesterday's.
As it was Molly doing.
As Molly did it. So a brief recap. Cottage. They went to Goldilocks and the Three Bears cottage. Yep. The cottage got magically transported via a bit of moonface magic into the land of ice and snow. There was a big snowball fight, and Joe escaped and has happened upon the cottage, and all of the others have just returned to the cottage and have just opened the door because they can see that somebody's inside. That's where we pick up today's story, with the kind of like all of the rest of the gang arriving back to the cottage. Now you're going to be the reader today, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
So I pass that back to me.
I was filming it. I was like, is this small?
Yeah, this is very good for you. So I'm in charge of the camera work, and Stinker here is in charge of reading the words.
Yep.
So over to you.
Okay. More and more surprises. There doesn't seem to be anyone here, said Beth, cautiously looking around. Well, who lighted the candle? Asked Moonface, his big round face looking anxious. We didn't leave it burning. Suddenly the father bear gave an angry growl and pointed to his chair. Who's been sitting in my chair? He said. And who's been sitting in my chair? Said the mother bear, pointing to hers. And who's been sitting in my chair? And broken it all to bits, squeaked the baby bear in tears. Beth giggled. This sounds like the story of the three bears coming true, she said to Franny. They'll talk about porridge next. They did. Who's been eating my porridge? Said the father bear angrily. And who's been eating my porridge? Said the mother bear. And who's been eating mine and gobbled it all up? Wept the baby bear, scraping his spoon round the empty plate. It's all very mysterious, said Moonface. Somebody lighted the candle. Somebody sat in the chairs. Somebody ate the porridge. But who? Not me this time, said Goldilocks. I was with you all the time we were snowboarding, wasn't I, Bears? You certainly were, growled the father bear softly, patting the little girl on the back. He was very fond of her. I wish we had found poor Joe, said Beth. I wish we had found poor Joe, said Beth. Whatever will he be doing in this horrid cold land? Do you suppose he ought to go out and look for him again? Said Franny, shivering as she thought of the ice-cold wind outside. No, said Moonface decidedly. No one is going out of this cottage again till we're safely in the wood at home. I'm afraid we can't possibly rescue Joe now. What's that noise? Said Goldilocks suddenly. Everyone listened. Someone was snoring softly in the next room. We never thought of looking in there, said Moonface. Who can it be? Shh, said Goldilocks. If we can catch him asleep, we can hold him tight and he won't be able to get away. But if he wakes up, he might be fierce. They tiptoed to the door of my bedroom. One by one they squeezed through. Who's been lying on my bed? Said the father bear in a growly voice. Shh, said Moonface crossly. Who's been lying on my bed? Said the mother bear. Shh, said everyone. And who's been lying on my bed and is fast asleep there still? Said the baby bear. Everyone stared at the cot. Yes, there was someone there, someone covered in white. Was it a polar bear? It's a white bear, said Moonface, half frightened. Let's lock him in before he wakes, said the father bear. He might still think we are enemies. They all rushed out of the little room and slammed the door shut with a loud bang, locking it behind them. He's caught, said Moonface joyfully. Joe awoke with a jump. Who had locked him in? Had the magic snow lantern caught him again? He began to shout and bang on the door, and then Beth and Franny recognised his voice and yelled out softly, Moonface, it's Joe! It's Joe! It's Joe! Oh, it's Joe! They rushed to the door and unlocked it and flung their arms around Joe. The boy was too astonished to speak. He hugged his sisters. "How did you get here?" he asked. "How did you get here?" cried Beth and Franny. Come into the kitchen and we'll all have some hot porridge and milk," said Goldilocks. "We can talk then and get warm." So Joe went with the others, all chattering loudly about everything. Goldilocks ladled out porridge into blue bowls and made some hot chocolate. So soon everyone was putting sugar on porridge and drinking the hot chocolate. Joe poured some milk over his porridge and smiled joyfully at everybody. "What an adventure this has been," he said. "Shall I tell my tale first, or will you tell yours?" He told his, and then Beth told how Moonface had gone to the three bears for their help, and all about the fierce snowball battle. "It's a pity about the battle," said the father bear mournfully. "The white bears are cousins of ours, and have always been friendly. Now they seem to be enemies." "Let's hope they don't discover our cottage," said Goldilocks, eating her hot porridge. Moonface hadn't we better make some magic and get back to the wood?" Plenty of time," said Moonface, pouring himself another cup of hot chocolate. But you know, there wasn't plenty of time, for just at that moment Goldilocks gave a scream and pointed to the window. "Someone looked in," she said. "Don't be silly," said Moonface. "I'm not," said Goldilocks. "I tell you, somebody looked in. Who could it be?" "The handle of the door is moving," yelled Moonface, and he leapt to the door. In a flash he had locked it and bolted it. The father bear got up and went to the window. He looked out in the snowstorm. "I can't see anything," he said, and then he growled loudly. "Yes, I can. I can see the white bears. They have surrounded our cottage. Now what shall we do?" "Well, they can't get in at the door, and they certainly shan't get in at the window," said Moonface, looking fierce. The door shook, but it held well. Someone battered on it. "We shan't let you in," yelled Joe. "If anyone tries to open the window or break in, I'll throw this kettle at him," shouted Moonface, who was dancing about waving the kettle in the air. "Moonface, that kettle's got hot water in it," said Franny. "Do be careful, you nearly dropped some on me." I'll drop it on the onto any bear that dares to come in here," yelled Moonface, spattering the room with steaming drops. "Oh dear," said Beth. "Hide behind the bed, Franny. It seems to me that Moonface is almost as dangerous as the bears." Moonface soon realised that they were right, and that waving a hot kettle around was a foolish and dangerous thing to do. So he put it down again gently. Then the father bear had an idea and dragged the big table across the room to block the door. Things were getting exciting. Joe and the girls were frightened, but they couldn't help feeling terribly thrilled too. Whatever was going to happen next? "Oomph, oomph," boomed the big bears outside, but they couldn't get in at the door or window. But they found another way. The chimney was wide and big, for the fireplace was one of the large old-fashioned kind and needed a wide chimney. One of the bears climbed up onto the roof, followed by three more. The first one slipped into the big chimney. Down he went. Whoosh! Down went another, and the third, and the fourth. They landed with a crash onto the big hearth and hurriedly jumped away from the flames of the fire. "Surrender!" they cried to the startled children. And bears, "Surrender! The magic snowman is outside. Let him in!" Dun, dun,
Da 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 da. And the next episode coming tomorrow. To be continued. What happened to the snowman? So exciting stuff. So that'll be me reading that with the assistance of my
I got confused at one point because it said, "I do wish we could get Joe," and I didn't understand what you said before, so I thought you said that they managed to get Joe.
Oh right.
And that's why I hesitated.
Yeah.
Because I was
so
really
they didn't.
confused.
So he'd escaped, but they didn't know he'd
Yeah.
escaped. Cool. Job done. Job done for another day.
See you.
Right.
Well, I'll see you on Friday, but Molly will see you on Thursday.
Yes. Okay. Right.
Bye-bye.
Well, TTFN is what you've been doing. There's your
Ta-ta
sign
for
off.
now.
Okay. Bye-bye.